You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Summer's the best time to run the way you want. Dial it up with new challenges and programs and bring your workouts with you to make the most of outside sunny days. There's no better way to do that than with Peloton. With Peloton, take advantage of how beautiful it is outside right now. You can go on an outdoor run or even a walk if you're not feeling like running, all while working on your tan. Summer's the best time to push your pace. Move how you want, enhance your fitness journey, and feel like your most empowered self. Whether you're prepping for a marathon or improving your pace, whatever road lies ahead, your training starts here with Peloton Tread or Tread Plus. Peloton's programs and instructors take you to new heights. Tap into their expertly programmed workouts and real-time metrics like pace targets that can take your fitness journey to new heights. From their strength classes designed for runners on the Peloton Tread or Tread Plus to guided outdoor runs on the Peloton app, Peloton's classes challenge you to be your best. Call yourself a runner with Peloton at onepeloton.com/running.
Now's a good time to remember where the story of tequila started. In 1795, the first tequila distillery was opened by the Cuervo family. And 229 years later, Cuervo is still going strong. Family owned from the start, same family, same land. Now's a good time to enjoy Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Go to Cuervo.com to shop tequila or visit a store near you. Cuervo, now's a good time. Trademarks owned by Becle, SAB de CV. Copyright 2024. Proximo. Jersey City, New Jersey. Please drink responsibly.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Let me ask you this question, Stugotz. I need a ruling around here. Jessica's getting rich off of fines. But I can imagine that because I said Tom Brokaw was past tense and put a question mark on it, that's a $50 fine. I asked it with a question mark.
Yeah.
I asked it with a question mark, but I asked it because I thought he was dead. So I'm going to need some sort of ruling here. I would assume that the audience is coming down on me saying that that's a $50 fine. We haven't had one of those in a while.
He's 84. He's still alive. When you do that with a question, Dan, it's $40. Okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, I was going to say I'm willing to call it even because on my first day, I accused Andrew Lloyd Webber of being dead, which was really just foolish on my part because I knew he was alive. I was just very nervous. So we can just call it even. You keep your 50, I'll keep my 50.
It was on your first day? We didn't fine you on your first day?
No, you did, but it was all on Zoom, so no one was in the studio.
Most people think Weber's dead. He's got one of those colonial names. You know, anytime you have 3 words in your name.
You're right.
You know, it makes you sound
I assume
like
you're dead, yes.
An old-timey kind of
Is he
person.
dead now?
No, he's super alive.
Yeah, he's super
like
alive.
still making Broadway shows.
But he
I
has
just
a
had
dead
one.
name.
Am I fined now $50 for asking?
It's 40.
Is he
Yes,
dead now?
that's 40.
No, 40. I said that.
Okay.
That's a fine for not getting the fine.
Not even anymore.
Well, we're changing the rules. as
You
we
owe
go along.
$140 now.
No, that's not.
If I were your attorney, Dan, I would argue on your behalf. I would find somebody on the face of the earth who's dead with the name Tom Brokaw. Because you know there's somebody named Tom Brokaw who, unfortunately, passed away years ago, probably in Maine or New Hampshire.
Right.
You know, and
Definitely.
and find that person, quote his wife, saying, my beloved Tom Brokaw passed away in 1968, you're off the hook. Because on a technicality, you were right. Somewhere Tom Brokaw is dead.
I did just Google Tom Brokaw obituary. There are a few results.
Thank you. Thank me. I should get that $40.
So Carl Anthony Towns has a dead name?
No, because it's Carl with a K.
Okay.
You know, I mean, that's a modern Carl. You know.
I love this.
Right?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I mean,
You're making the
Carls
rules
with
up,
a C
so.
are old-timey Carls. Carls with a K, they're happening. They're breakdancing.
Right,
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right about that.
Carl
Yes.
with a K is spinning on his head.
Totally different Carl.
Just,
Yeah.
okay. They're happening. They're breakdancing.
Yes.
That's okay. That's how we're doing that one.
Right.
I mean,
Because it's with a K.
yeah.
I don't understand how you're making the rules here. Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Right. Sounds like an old name. You know, not medieval old, but like colonial old.
But it's the Lloyd, right? Because if I said to you Andrew Webber, you wouldn't think it's old or colonial.
No, Andrew tends to be an old name. Andy is Andrew's son, you know, who doesn't go by Junior. But Andrew Lloyd
With a
Webber,
second,
I
right.
can see why Jess thought that was a dead celebrity.
Yeah, it's also the Britishness of it.
Yeah.
Makes it seem older,
That's
more
true.
esteemed.
Yeah, good point.
Thank you.
Guys, can you please get for me, the talkback's not working, can you get for me the American Ninja Warrior video, please? Because Greg Cody has said something, and this might be generational as well. I don't know what's happening here. I'm legitimately surprised, and I don't know the entirety of his opinion on this. He simply said today that American Ninja Warrior is sad.
Yeah.
He described it as sad, which is not something I've ever heard it described at. It seems to me like perfect sports television. It's just easy, mindless. You can watch for 24 minutes and you can root for people, and it's just super simple, smart television.
Yeah, emphasis on the mindless. What a juxtaposition of NBC going from showing the immensely high-rated, gorgeous grandeur of the Paris Olympics to last night. I'm still on NBC because of the Olympics. I turn on my TV, and it's this kind of crap happening. You know, back in the day, it was called an obstacle course. You know, we'd do that thing with the monkey bar, and, we'd do that, and it was in phys ed in school. Now, they're just televising it and putting a pool underneath it, so when you fall from the monkey bar, all of a sudden you're splashing in a pool, and there's cameras and lights. It's ridiculous. And these people, I'm not saying they're not athletic, but they're doing such ridiculous events. They're all trying to get famous. Look at me, Louis, and Billy Gill. I hate to say it, but he's an example, feeding into this whole Ninja Warrior mystique. These are not athletes, okay? What they're doing is not particularly difficult.
You've got to be shitting
No,
me.
they're all young. They've trained for it, but it's nonsensical what they're doing.
You have to be kidding me. You don't think American Ninja Warriors are athletes? Like, how can you say that with a straight face?
I'm watching somebody jump in a pool right now.
You could not do one.
That's a mean.
That was Amin El-Hassan, and you could not do one thing. You would be incapable of doing one obstacle.
You guys are a part of this whole scam. That's why you're defending it. Okay, I had forgotten that the Batard show was in cahoots with American Ninja Warrior.
You tell them.
Before I started criticizing it. It's like once or twice I've done back in my day, making fun of a sponsor of the show. I don't mean to do it, but just sometimes it happens. In this case, I just think it's ridiculous that what we're watching right now, no offense, Mike, is a televised sport. It's absolutely
This is an unfair edit because it picks it up at step 3.
Mike is holding
It's all
on.
ass crack. It's Mike desperately holding on.
Watch this.
Oh, yeah.
I should also say I'm the only one of us that
man that
Roy
went through that course specifically, which was very difficult. Look at this. This one's a piece of cake, the one that Roy's doing right there. I got screwed on the course.
Greg Cody.
This is televised.
I just can't believe, though, that you would say that they're not athletes. Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Batard Show. Are American Ninja Warriors athletes? Because, of course, they are. That shit is damn near impossible to do. In fact, I'd say I'd put a lot of football players and ask them to try and do some of that stuff, and basketball players, and they wouldn't be able to do any of it.
I think if they had one practice.
You're out of your mind.
They'd be able to do it. I'm with Greg
You're
on
not
that.
familiar with American Ninja Warrior? They often have athletes participate in this. And
You
they
think
don't
Tariq
always
Hill's
fare
going to
well.
struggle with that?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
No, Dan.
Right, yes, you don't know what you're talking about.
Cheetah probably could do it.
Cheetah,
He would
right.
do way better than we did. Like
Yeah.
he
Yes,
would,
of course he would do
Greatest
better. Wait a
athlete in
minute,
the
that's the
NFL.
standard?
No, I'm
That's
just saying
not the
he
bar.
would get to I'm not saying he'd finish the course, but he would move along this course.
I disagree. I couldn't disagree more with what you guys are saying here. These things are difficult, and you have to practice them. You think Tyreek Hill can just show up at American Ninja Warrior and finish the 10 obstacles? Are you nuts?
I trust his ability to do it rather than ours.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It was very clear we didn't get any practice runs. I would have appreciated maybe one.
Greg is right about the obstacle course, though. I mean, you have to climb through some tires, do it quickly. You jump over a little swamp.
Like a Tough
that's
Mudder.
how you do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the gymnasts have done well that they've had on American Ninja Warrior because that is a very multi-disciplined sport, whereas Tyreek Hill's just very speedy and can change direction quickly. The gymnasts, they've got the core strength. You need the core strength.
That is a key component. What is your core discipline? I'm a Kempo black belt. Didn't help me.
Gymnasts, I would say, would fare better, but this is in keeping. I understand why Tyreek Hill, would think he's the best player in football, and I understand why Tyreek Hill would say just yesterday to Kate Adams, "I'd beat Noah Lyles in a race." No, you would not. You would not beat Noah Lyles.
Does he have COVID
Yeah, that's
you would neither beat the healthy or the COVID Noah Lyles in a race.
Yeah, Hill's got short legs. That's what people don't realize.
Yeah, but that helps. Lower center of gravity. That's why Barry Sanders was so hard to tackle.
Yep.
That and all-world athletic ability.
That helps to not get tackled and also being made of bowling ball material. But I would say that what you see happening in that league right now, it's one of the reasons that Tyreek Hill stands out because his body can withstand the punishment is the receivers that are the best receivers are the ones that you see eat up 5 yards in a stride and a half. And you're like, oh, my God. Like, how does anything keep up with that? Because it's Usain Bolt. It's longer strides. It's Justin Jefferson. Like, you can't keep up with that because the strides are so long that they're eating up giant chunks of yardage in bursts of long legs or just a kind of speed that makes this is one of the things that they're paying in that sport now is CeeDee Lamb runs how? DK Metcalf runs how? Like, what do you mean that they can eat up that kind of yardage and a cornerback can't keep up with shorter legs?
Have you ever done a segment and wondered aloud, how did we get here? Dan's the only person speaking on behalf of athleticism right now. He's like vouching for long strides. And why are we all attacking him? Well, wait, because he said Tyreek Hill wouldn't do well in American. I do disagree with that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he'd be good.
I just think I just think finger strength. Like you,
I think he's got that.
Okay, but maybe
he looks like he's got them all.
Yeah.
Maybe you're great at being able to do quickly. Like you're saying, finish it. I don't think he even finishes it. Honestly, I don't think most athletes can finish that course. I think you have to train for it.
I hope you go to Dolphins camp and you tell him this.
How tall is Tyreek Hill? Is he?
He's like 5'9".
5'10", because I don't think Noah Lyles is much taller. I think they might be around the same height.
He was voted by his peers as the best football player in the league right now.
Right.
I trust him.
Well, if we're doing the height thing.
I miss the possession receiver. I mean, I miss the days of Phil McConkey. Wayne Corbett, Wes Welker. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't many. I don't think there's any in the NFL right now.
No, I mean, Braxton Berrios, you have...
he's like a third wide receiver / punt returner, kick returner, utility guy, He's not a true possession wide receiver.
I know the game we're playing here. River Craycraft.
Yes. Amendola. What are you missing there,
Danny Amendola.
What are you, Welker? What are you missing
I'm just looking at the top receivers in the NFL. I mean, they used to be... Listen,
Edelman, what are you missing?
You had your Randy Mosses. What do you mean, what am I
Collie.
missing? I mean...
What are you missing?
I want a receiver who averages 8.1 yards a catch.
Yeah.
That's a possession receiver.
I remember when Ninja Warrior was in Miami, they did stuff at FIU one time, and Cameron Wimbley ran the course. I did not know how he fared, so I just YouTubed it. He cleared it. That's Cameron Wimbley, pass rusher. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tyreek Hill does this.
Right.
He clears it.
Yeah, he would nail it.
But to answer your question, Dan, I missed the white wide receiver.
At least we got it out there.
I said it.
Finally.
Steve Largent.
Finally, we said it.
Miss him.
Cooper Kupp was too good to be a possession receiver.
Way too good.
Yeah.
Yep, way too
He
good.
dropped off the face of the earth.
Thielen, he's possession.
He just got hurt. No, Thielen's not. I wouldn't call him a possession receiver.
He's certainly more possession than Cooper Kupp.
Well, he's just because he plays in Carolina. He wasn't that when he was in Minnesota.
Anyway, to get back to the Ninja Warrior, if these guys are such good athletes,
This is the new and improved Dan Levitar show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
Summer's the best time to run the way you want. Dial it up with new challenges and programs and bring your workouts with you to make the most of outside sunny days. There's no better way to do that than with Peloton. With Peloton, take advantage of how beautiful it is outside right now. You can go on an outdoor run or even a walk if you're not feeling like running, all while working on your tan. Summer's the best time to push your pace. Move how you want, enhance your fitness journey, and feel like your most empowered self. Whether you're prepping for a marathon or improving your pace, whatever road lies ahead, your training starts here with Peloton Tread or Tread Plus. Peloton's programs and instructors take you to new heights. Tap into their expertly programmed workouts and real-time metrics like pace targets that can take your fitness journey to new heights. From their strength classes designed for runners on the Peloton Tread or Tread Plus to guided outdoor runs on the Peloton app, Peloton's classes challenge you to be your best. Call yourself a runner with Peloton at onepeloton.com/running.
Don Le Batard.
Yeah, very
Imagine if someone told you couldn't have a Corvette.
Stugotz.
I'm a grown-ass man who's not filthy rich. I can't afford a Lamborghini. Well, I probably can, but that's
Whoa!
Hey!
Wow.
Okay, Greg.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I'm seeing some highlights up here of Mookie Betts hitting a home run during the Dodgers-Brewers game, and I read something yesterday about Mookie Betts refuses to stay at that Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee that is haunted. He stays apart from his teammates and everyone else. Stan Van Gundy told us the story how everybody would bleep with Patrick Ewing in that hotel. All the teammates and stuff would come knock on the door and then run away because Ewing was legitimately scared of the ghosts. Mookie Betts will not stay at the Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee. He gets an Airbnb nearby, and all of his Dodgers teammates are staying there. That is funny, except if you're Mookie Betts.
Or Spooky Betts. Just saying. That should be his name. That kind of thing.
Vigorous swig
Drink the water.
coming. He undoes.
Vigorous.
He undoes it. Well, I see that you've undone the top of that. You got in with 2 words. You're pleased with yourself. Here, toast
You
yourself.
deserve a swig.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Usually I sip coffee because it's very hot.
Right.
This time I'm going to swig on your behalf.
Stugotz, credit to you. It was indeed Turbo that did the breakdance routine with the broom. That was very impressive off the top of your dome. Also,
Coin
I
toss.
just watched that during the break, and the rare duo, Turbo and Ozone, were the very clear leader. His name goes second in the duo's name. Is there another example of that?
Montana and Rice.
I was going to think like maybe Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer.
The where the star is the second name in a duo.
Star is different. Leader.
Leader. Yes.
Leader usually goes first because they lead. Like, you can cite an example where Sonny and Cher were a very famous duo. Cher was the star, but Sonny was a very clear leader.
The fact that you're mentioning Sonny and Cher made me think of something that my father said this weekend out of nowhere. He was asking me a lot of questions. You talk about the silent generation. You talk about Tom Brokaw's age. For some reason, my father wanted to talk about Sonny and Cher all weekend. And he's fascinated by the way Sonny died. Because he's like, did you know how Sonny died? And I'm like, yeah, he had a skiing accident and he ran into a tree. And my father's like, that'll never happen to me. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably true. You would probably not die in a skiing accident because you're not going to be someone who skis. But then the next thing he says to me is, do you know what Sonny Bono's last words were? And I'm like, what? And he's like, who put that f***ing tree there?
Too soon, number one, Poppy. And number two, was he just setting you up for his own routine?
My father does not usually
talk to you about Sonny and Cher for 15 minutes to give you that terrible joke.
He was laughing through the joke before he said it, and I'm just looking at him like he was just delighted in the fact that someone had died in a way he never would because he's not a skier. That's what happened with my father this weekend. What just happened during the break with Stugotz, though, is as soon as I go to my wallet and pull out money for fines, he starts smelling the money. And so he asked me for money during the break saying, let's get Will Levis for God Bless Football. He's like, I want to start paying Will Levis to be somebody. Are you going to have him replace Austin Eckler?
Oh, well, no, I'd like to have Eckler as well, but Will Levis is someone who joined me and Billy at Radio Row during Super Bowl week last year, and he was fantastic. does not take himself very seriously. Now, we have no idea if he's good. We have no idea if he's the long-term starter in Tennessee, but I do like his personality. And if he turns out to be a starting quarterback and a good starting quarterback, then we're on to something here with God Bless Football. And so Will Levis is a guy that I just happen to like, and he has shot a ridiculous new commercial.
I have not seen the quarterbacks do this with a sense of humor, and honest to God, it sort of reminds me of Dave Grohl having fun with music videos and saying music videos don't have to all be artistic. They can also be funny. Will Levis is doing a commercial for Hellmann's here, and it's Hellmann's as a perfume. Like, obviously disgusting, but he's turning the corporate sponsor into his sense of humor and saying, okay, I'll do a commercial for you as the NFL quarterback for Hellmann's mayonnaise, but I'm going to do it sexy. I'm going to do this goop, this terrible goop that is also
relax.
Well, it's delicious.
Goop.
It's delicious goop, but it's not sexy. Cologne de mayonnaise is not something anyone is buying, but Will Levis is doing a commercial for the scent of mayo. Who wants to smell like mayo? That's what I usually smell like. It's not a scent people find sexy. Let's watch this.
They try to define you, but you are the ingredient to your own success. Luscious, eggy, smell like greatness. Will Levis, number 8, Parfum de mayonnaise.
That's great.
Not a lot of quarterbacks have made that commercial.
Bacon and eggs.
Got it right?
Eggs are the leader.
Eggs are the leader.
No,
Are they?
no,
But bacon's a star.
Eggs are the leader. Yeah. We're not saying the star. Mike is right. Bacon is the star.
Bacon is
eggs are the
unquestionably
leader.
the star.
I won't have eggs without bacon. I will have bacon without eggs. I mean, I don't know who
But then
leads
it's not
who,
breakfast.
but well, it is for me.
Bacon's the alpha dog.
It's almost like it's tough to do this with items that don't speak.
Why are you doing this, Jess, where you're saying eggs are the leader of bacon and eggs?
Because they are. Yeah.
I don't. Okay, put it on the poll, please. Guillermo,
What comes
or Choo-Choo.
first, the bacon or the egg?
At Batard Show, who's the leader in bacon and eggs? Bacon or eggs?
Scooby-Doo and Shaggy.
It's called bacon and eggs.
And to bring it full circle,
Right.
the actor that played
Yes.
Ozone, Shabba-Doo.
When I order a bacon, egg, and cheese, I lead with the bacon. I never lead with the egg. It's never an egg, bacon, and cheese.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
That's a completely
Right.
different
If
conversation.
you're
We're not
getting
talking
a
about bacon, egg, and
BLT,
cheese.
you want more bacon. You don't want more lettuce.
Right.
You-
Yes.
Give me an extra tomato
You're
here,
naming
will you?
different
No.
things now. We're not talking about
Why
BLT.
lettuce?
mayo.
It's
That's
a
mayo.
BLT.
Yes.
A BLT doesn't have egg in it.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
I would have a BLT with a little egg in it.
That's a belt.
A little fried egg on top.
Belt. I like it. Give
It's
me
a belt. It's a belt that can't be tightened.
Belt me.
What are you doing there with the lettuce? Did you confuse the lettuce and the eggs?
No. I was thinking of another example where the bacon is king. The bacon is almost always king. It's something that people love. Uncle Dick eats a whole pound of bacon at one sitting.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Delightful.
Put it on the poll at Levitar Show. Have you ever eaten a pound of bacon in one sitting? Yes or no?
I've been really into BLTs lately. Probably the most underrated sandwich.
I love a BLT.
Oh, it's great.
Put a little mayo on your BLT.
Oh, speaking of mayo. Exactly. A lot of mayo.
Put it on the poll, Juju. Is BLT the most underrated sandwich? Yes or no?
That or a grilled cheese with bacon and tomato.
Now we're talking.
Delightful. Oh,
It's just a sandwich.
I had to research this one, but Salt and Peppa. I thought Peppa was the leader of this duo, but it turns out Salt founded the famous hip hop duo.
Well, Jessica said Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. I don't. Are they a famous duo? Is that because Scooby-Doo's the star there? Is he not? It's not Shaggy who's the star, but Shaggy's the owner. Or Shaggy, ostensibly, Scooby-Doo is a cartoon dog that has all dog properties, right? He's got to have an owner.
Can a duo live inside a larger group? I guess Casey and JoJo. They were a part of
The
Jodeci.
Dan Lebitard show with Stugotz.
I mean, the name of the show is Scooby-Doo.
He's the star, but who's
not
the
Shaggy.
leader? Right, it's not Shaggy. I think of Scooby-Doo as the star, but Mike is saying he's trying to make a distinction between star and leader. They can be you could do that with our show. You could do that with Highly Questionable. Who's the star and who's the leader? You could do that here.
I mean, Shaggy was mainly the interpreter. Yeah. Although it wasn't that hard. Scooby-Doo didn't need an interpreter. You could he's saying zoinks.
I don't think he's part of the group without Shaggy, though. Right. Like they need each other.
But people associate? If I threw out to the audience famous duos for all time, that Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are coming in the top 1,000, because I don't think of them as two things that have to go together like peanut butter and jelly.
It is rare to have a duo breakout. Usually, it's like in sync, where you have a breakout star. But for another group, essentially, to be born out of a group, now that's random.
With Scooby-Doo, I always looked as Fred. I looked to Fred as the leader. He had the blonde hair. He drove the van all the time.
Yeah. And social construct at the time was white male with blonde hair. He's the leader.
Well, that's why Sonny went ahead of Cher, too. Same time period. Right. That is why Cher was not the star. It should have been Cher and Sonny. Sonny was hanging on for a ride there. He was not the talented one in that particular combination.
Chris just mentioned off mic that sometimes it's what sounds better. And that's true. I'm sure a lot of bands have broken up that way, too. It's I understand that you're the founder, but it just sounds better this way.
Right. Tom and Jerry got it right, correct?
Jerry and Tom, I guess, could work if that was what it came out the gates with, but I'm with you. Tom and Jerry just feels right.
Well, no, you've got it right on Sonny and Cher, because Cher and Sonny doesn't work at all.
No, neither would Garfunkel and Simon.
Right.
It's just
totally.
Fly.
Yep.
Yeah.
But how much of that is just because it's what you're used to? If we had heard it.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Of course.
Oats and Hall?
Okay.
No thanks.
No, thank you.
No. But it sounds like a lovely cereal.
I don't want a jelly and peanut butter sandwich. That sounds ridiculous. You would mock me if I said that. You'd think I'd have sandwich dyslexia.
Is peanut butter the leader there?
Yes.
I'm not so sure.
Yes.
That's what Jess said back here.
No,
I'm a big jelly guy.
It's got the stronger flavor profile out of the two.
Yeah.
Crunchy
What kind of
peanut
jelly
butter.
are we talking about?
If I throw any kind of crunchy, if I put any kind of grape jelly on something, it's going to get overwhelmed by the crunchy peanut butter. The crunchy peanut butter dominates that situation. But that's why I don't understand what you're doing with eggs. I think bacon dominates eggs.
Mm-hmm.
But eggs are the leader.
No.
This is really hard when they're not speaking.
Eggs
when it's a non-speaking
bystander.
role.
Speaking to me.
Scooby-Doo doesn't speak. It's the same affliction that he's got there.
He does speak. Come on, you
just
Right.
That's speaking.
Everyone understands.
Come on, you don't need a dude high as a kite trying to translate. We understand him. He's a talking dog. A lot has changed over the years, listening audience. Hey, it's Mike Ryan. One thing that hasn't, the great taste of Miller Lite. Now, over the course of our history doing this show, Miller Lite's kind of been there for the vast majority of it, and I have been a very public-facing fan of the beverage. Why? Well, that's been up for debate for a long time, pretty much since 1975. But one thing that is not up for debate, the undebatable quality and great taste of Miller Lite. The fact that it is only 96 calories. This is a beer that strips everything away that you don't need and holds on to what matters most. Less filling, great taste. A light beer that tastes like beer. You don't have to choose what you like best. Miller Lite has great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Dan Le Batard.
Yeah, very Imagine if someone told you couldn't have a Corvette.
Stugotz.
I'm a grown-ass man who's not filthy rich. I can't afford a Lamborghini. Well, I probably can, but that's
Whoa! Hey!
Okay, Greg. No,
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
We've got Greg Cody in house on a Tuesday here, and he is a Miami Herald legend, one of the longest-standing journalists in the history of the newspaper. And I wanted to get into something Miami-related because I believe, Mike Ryan, that you will be offended by what Greg Cody thinks. I saw an annoying text string between you and Billy Corbin that ate up my phone's energy yesterday because Billy Corbin is pretending to not actively root against John Ruiz and anything NIL Miami related. So I didn't even read it because it was too long, but I will tell you, Mike Ryan, even though you are now an owner of Canes Insight and a correspondent and you are embedded in the program, Greg Cody does not believe that the University of Miami deserves its number 19 preseason ranking.
Well, that's not entirely true. I think they do. I wrote a column the other day predicting that they're going to be in the ACC championship game and in the playoff, in the college football playoff. I think they're one of the 12 best teams in the country. I think they have a chance to go 11-1. I think 10-2 is very, very doable. I am really high on UM, maybe too much so. The only caveat is that they tend to disappoint. The year before last, I think they were 14 preseason. The year before that, they were 16. We've been here before, right? And they have to win the opener in the Swamp. And the last time I looked, they're a narrow favorite. If they lose that, everything sags. The whole season sags, and it's like, here we go again. But I think Cam Ward is great. I think the running back they got, Martinez, is great. I think they're going to be super good. I'm curious what Mike thinks because I am super high on UM.
Before we get to Mike, man, did you nuke Dan's setup?
I can't think of something more opposite than how Dan set it up.
I think Greg's more bullish on them than I am.
I have this, in fairness to Dan, and I love you, Greg, I'm copied on the same email with your topics, and you're questioning whether number 19 is too high for the Canes.
I said, is Hurricanes number 19 preseason AP ranking too high?
You were just
now
asking
I'm
a question.
answering it.
Okay,
the answer is no.
You're answering your own question.
There was
Got
a
it.
question mark on the end of that.
I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize.
I mean, I'm posing a question. Now I'm providing an answer, and an emphatic answer with an exclamation point on the end of it.
You know what you're doing. My bad.
Yeah, not 3 exclamation points like my wife. All her emails, if she's effusive about something, it's got to have 3 exclamation points. 1 will do. But, I think the Canes are going to be really, really good.
1 exclamation point at the end of that?
You only need 1. I hate the 3 multiple exclamation points.
I get it already.
I like 3.
Right.
Got to really just pound your point home.
No.
Do you?
3.
Okay.
What if they're 3, but they're in separate sentences? Like, hey, it's great to hear from you. And then at the end, thanks.
No.
That I will go back and fix. If I put an exclamation point on the first sentence and then I think the second one, I'll go back and change that first sentence to a period. I'm like, you can't have 2 exclamation points.
Yeah, and thanks should never have an exclamation point.
Really?
What?
Yeah. No. I don't think so.
I have to limit myself to 3 exclamation points per email. I don't want to seem too exuberant.
But Greg is right. Thanks on its own is enough.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't want you
Thanks.
yelling at me, thanks.
Yeah.
Without an exclamation, you're saying thanks. With an exclamation, you're saying thanks.
Yeah. It could also be thanks.
I don't want to say thanks. I want to say thanks.
Thank you.
It goes well. Thanks is its own emphasis. Like, you don't need anything at the end of it.
Do you see now why the meeting is important?
No. No, I don't. I was here before you were, by the way.
He was.
You were rolling out of bed there in the suite, and I'm here at 7:45, looking around saying, "Where's our meeting?"
Yeah.
Yeah, here I'm ready.
He was actually saying, "Where's Dan?" I want to explain to him what I mean by too high, number 19 preseason rankings.
Yeah.
But you weren't here.
But the lesson here is next time somebody poses a question in their show topics, is number 19 too high for the Hurricanes? Doesn't mean they're saying it is. It means it's a talking point. I'm willing to discuss. I think they're going to be really, really good.
Yeah, you mentioned that. You always do with the local teams. I will tell you that one of
except the Marlins,
the unique spaces that you occupy, and this is really funny and crazy and also true. Greg Cody, the last 2 years, has predicted a Miami Dolphins Super Bowl appearance. They have not won a playoff game. He feels like he's been right the last 2 years. That's hard to do. Because their offense has been good, he feels like his homerism has been rewarded. He has predicted Super Bowl each of the last 2 years. He has been flagrantly wrong. They have not won a single playoff game.
Right.
Still feels like he's right.
Mm-hmm.
To a certain degree.
Yeah.
I called the turnaround. I think they got to solve fizzling at the end of a season. They start off good, and then they take a big giant crap in the last quarter of the season, and which is why the last 2 playoff games have been on the road in tough places to play. You got to get a home playoff game. Can't be playing in Kansas City in January. It's like absolutely ridiculous. I also overestimated the Chiefs. I thought when Tyreek left to come to Miami.
Underestimated the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think Kansas. I thought
underestimated. You overestimated the Chiefs.
I mean, overestimated. I thought
underestimated.
You underestimated the
You
Chiefs.
thought they were done when Tyreek Hill came to Miami.
Not done, but I thought they were done as this dynasty that's going to win 2 more Super Bowls in a row.
Sure.
Well, if you want to see those Miami Dolphins play in the Super Bowl, you could be a season ticket holder and get the first crack at it. Or what you could do is go to the secondary market.
Wow.
Download the Game Time app. Look, it's hard to come by. These tickets to this huge Gators Miami Hurricanes game, really difficult tickets to come by. Why don't you download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. And I hope just a small part of our audience is using that promo code, because that would mean they've used Game Time plenty already, like I have. Terms apply. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Again, if you're listening to my voice and you're finally compelled to download Game Time, use that promo code DAN and get $20 off your first purchase.
Occasionally, we have some things that happen and break in the news, and it gets dated very quickly, and Greg Cody is only here once a week, so I have not yet heard his thoughts. Let's see if I can introduce this correctly on FIU getting into a relationship with Pitbull in the naming of the stadium. I'm led to assume that Greg Cody is vigorously against this. He hates the idea. There is no merging between music, pop culture, and blessed football.
He just wrote down Pitbull Stadium with a period, so you're really guessing here.
Not an exclamation point.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, the better way to know what my opinions are, oddly enough, the columns I write do appear online. Like
not the meeting, right? Not the meeting. Not the meeting. But not the meeting.
7:45. He was there.
I have to subscribe to the Miami Herald.
That's correct.
Okay, just not the meeting.
Here's what you do: take out a loan and subscribe to the Miami Herald.
Right, but not the meeting.
Okay.
Not in the meeting before the show.
I think the Pitbull FIU alliance is great for both, especially for FIU. My first impression when I read about this business deal was I couldn't believe FIU wasn't paying Pitbull. I can't believe Pitbull is actually giving $1.2 million a year to FAU, because Pitbull, if anything, he is demeaned by this relationship because FIU is associated with losing. For FIU, it's great. Pitbull Stadium is a great name for a stadium, and it raises the esteem of FIU football. I think it's wonderful for them. I don't see a negative in it. And it's also a declaration by FIU that, and Mike's going to laugh, they're not ready to concede the 305 to the University of Miami. Okay, FIU is a huge public university. In their branding, they're already saying things like, welcome to the 305. They're calling themselves the 305's University. So they picture their vision is someday we're going to be huge. Now, granted, they need to start winning for any of that to take place.
They're 9-33 or something.
No, they've been terrible lately.
Do you think FIU can be a sleeping giant, though? To your point,
yes.
if they have the right coach in there that galvanizes, recruits, and builds on that program,
yes.
I don't take offense to them, even though they don't have Miami in their name. Although I do think that when I was younger, there was always talk that they might become Miami State University one day, because you don't really see any major programs with international in their name. But
Miami's not a state, though. I mean,
no,
I'm just saying it's Florida State.
I understand, but you can have Memphis. I'm wearing a Memphis poncho right now. They used to be Tennessee State University. They are a state school. You can be a state school and proudly boast a city.
Just weird.
But okay. But I do think that they can lay claim to being more Miami. Certainly with the Pitbull relationship, but they can lay claim to being more Miami than the University of Miami. I think if you look at the student body, the student body doesn't have a lot of locals. I mean, they may push back on that, but the student body at FIU certainly has a ton of locals.
Yeah.
Florida Prepaid. There's just so many. There's so many paths to get to that state school down here. So I think if they make smart decisions, they can certainly be in that mix. And I wouldn't be surprised if 10, 20 years down the line, and look, this is a school that the last time they went on a field against the University of Miami beat them. So I do think that this is a school with a high ceiling. I really do.
And the Pitbull Alliance is visionary, I think. I think it speaks to their high goals vis-a-vis the relationship in the 305 with UM.
Please stop doing that, Chris. I need you to.
It's very distracting.
I need you to stop that. It's annoying. It's bothering me. Please.
Hit it.
He said me.
I was even signaling to him.
Over 2.
You know a joke is obvious when Greg Cody's in on it and he's shouting at his son, go ahead and do it.
Hit it.
No, that's enough.
You're 0 for 2 on Cody setups today.
Seriously, never play it again. Though.
Yeah, don't do that anymore. It's annoying. It's obviously annoying. I don't think that Pitbull Stadium is a great name for a stadium.
I think
the Pit.
That's better, and I'm guessing that that's what they'll end up doing with it. They've announced that probably, but you said Pitbull Stadium is a great name for a stadium.
I think it is. Yeah. I think it conveys toughness. You know, I mean, not just the celebrity of the musical artist, but the breed of dog is maligned, it's disrespected, it's criticized, it's the underdog, so to speak. Everybody wants to ban pit bulls. I think the Pitbull Stadium name is great. Just like I generally hate corporate names of stadiums. I loathe them. But Hard Rock is a great name for a football stadium, and I think Pitbull is as well.
I do love the tie-in with Florida International University and Mr. Worldwide. There's some great synergy there for FIU being like, yeah, we're the worldwide school of South Florida. We've got Mr. Worldwide representing us, and it's Pitbull.
Who are the people that you would be willing to concede anywhere in entertainment? Yes, that's a person that you need to pay to have their name on your stadium, because Greg is saying that this relationship is incorrect financially, that FIU should not be the lead or the alpha here, that Pitbull should not be paying them, that they should be paying Pitbull. I don't think that's the way that would work with many, but there probably are some, right? If I made a Taylor Swift stadium, she's not going to have to pay for that, right?
To be technical about it, it's a gift. It's a donation, not unlike other buildings that are named on a university campus. He gives a gift to the university, gets his name on something.
Yeah. No, that's the way it works. And it's significant, though, that his name's on a football stadium, not a science building. You know what I mean? He's out front. Nothing is going to get more attention for both sides.
This is a new and improved Dan Le Batard show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
Summer's the best time to run the way you want. Dial it up with new challenges and programs and bring your workouts with you to make the most of outside sunny days. There's no better way to do that than with Peloton. With Peloton, take advantage of how beautiful it is outside right now. You can go on an outdoor run or even a walk if you're not feeling like running, all while working on your tan. Summer's the best time to push your pace. Move how you want, enhance your fitness journey, and feel like your most empowered self. Whether you're prepping for a marathon or improving your pace, whatever road lies ahead, your training starts here with Peloton Tread or Tread Plus. Peloton's programs and instructors take you to new heights. Tap into their expertly programmed workouts and real-time metrics like pace targets that can take your fitness journey to new heights. From their strength classes designed for runners on the Peloton Tread or Tread Plus to guided outdoor runs on the Peloton app, Peloton's classes challenge you to be your best. Call yourself a runner with Peloton at onepeloton.com/running.
A lot has changed over the years, listening audience. Hey, it's Mike Ryan. One thing that hasn't, the great taste of Miller Lite. Now, you know, over the course of our history doing this show, Miller Lite's kind of been there for the vast majority of it, and I have been a very public-facing fan of the beverage. Why? Well, that's been up for debate for a long time, pretty much since 1975. But one thing that is not up for debate, the undebatable quality and great taste of Miller Lite. The fact that it is only 96 calories. This is a beer that strips everything away that you don't need and holds on to what matters most. Less filling, great taste. A light beer that tastes like beer. You don't have to choose what you like best. Miller Lite has great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.